Dude, you want to shift to the debates?
Oh yeah,
why are they starting it at 9 o'clock? That's wild.
This is hard for me. I'm a political junkie. For all of you who don't want to hear about politics, you're welcome. You have no idea how much restraint I've shown as Trump got convicted for 34 felonies, how much restraint I've shown as like the weekly stuff comes out. Biden says something silly. Trump says something silly. I follow this shit like the biggest sports fan you've ever met.
You think he hates Dr. Disrespect? You don't even know how much he hates Donald Trump.
He hates Trump more. Yeah.
I try to follow with an unbiased heart. I doubt I succeed, but it is my goal. And tonight is like, I don't know, finals game 1. Like this is where the chip is earned. And we haven't seen
the moderator? Like who?
It's CNN and it's Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. And I have thoughts on that too. Like a lot of people on the Trump side, they're like playing the refs already. They're like, those guys are so biased. They're terrible. They're going to be against us. We hate them.
Yeah.
And I think their goal is to get them to swing in the other direction and like, make sure that they can't possibly be accused of Trump bias, perhaps by being biased against Biden. I don't know. So I'll evaluate them after they're done. I mean, I recognize that Jake Tapper probably in his heart doesn't like Trump, but we'll see what he says.
Said horrific. They played montages of Jake Tapper.
Did
like,
yeah.
I just saw a tweet from like a while ago. But I don't.
He was one of those like, to save democracy, don't vote for this guy.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like he was like.
Well, we'll see how he does in the thing. But like I said, I never thought Jake Tapper in his heart wasn't down the middle. But we'll see how he does in the debate.
I think he's very evidently partisan.
He's so far left.
I'm not denying. Okay, let's all agree.
You can play
on
his
that.
own words on YouTube and watch montages of him treating the Trump presidency like it was like Hitler was in office and we needed to be. Are you afraid as you walk down the street like millions of other Americans? Like just a piece of shit. Those guys are so biased.
That's how I feel. How the right does it right now.
They do.
Tell you,
but they admit it. They're not hiding, and no one is like,
admitting it's the difference.
I don't know. John Hannity, he's right down the middle, fella. I tell you, he tells it like it is.
In his heart.
They say no. John Hannity's right wing. He was in the ministry, like he was almost a Catholic priest, and now he does talk radio. What side do you think he's on?
I mean, of course you admit it. He actually attends Trump rallies and speaks to the crowd behind the podium. Like that's you get hard to deny. Like
I mean, like I don't know who this other person is you mentioned as a moderator, but like
you would if you saw
Jake Tapper's pretty
Dana
funny.
Bash. You probably recognize her.
It's not even. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the format's going to be, how it's going to work, how interruptions are going to be handled, how the microphone muting is going to handle, how the fact checking is going to be displayed or given to the. And I don't know what the live audience looks like either.
So they ask a question, you get I think 90 seconds to answer it, and then the rebuttals are 60 seconds. If it's not that, it's 60 and 30, but it's something like that. The other person's mic it's not fully muted. Like CNN did this demonstration, but the other guy sounds garbled and unintelligible. You can only hear like perhaps that he's saying something without making out the words. And
that's not even a debate.
Well, is it? I mean, in a debate, you're typically like Hope was in speech and debate. And you don't get to interrupt and yell over each other. Instead, you remain quiet while that person goes and you take turns. What Trump did last time was just try to yell over Biden, especially in the first debate. He yelled over Biden the whole time.
Well, in traditional speech and debate, like I'm sure Hope participated in, like they take it much more seriously staying on topic than they do in these political kind of shows where it's like, actually, you're debating oil production in the United States compared to nuclear. Could we get back to that? Like because it's a class and because they'll like force them to do that. Like a lot of
speech debate is worse, I would argue. So like what would happen is I'd make my point and I'd try to have like 7 facts that back me up. Now you're in this position where you have to beat all 7. And if you don't, I'm beating you. And it's like, I think if you very persuasively beat 3 of them, you should win. Even if there's 4 silly, stupid things. They don't like weight and grade my different things. It's just like who scored. Woody's up 4-0 because Taylor couldn't beat him. Now it's Taylor's turn. See how many Woody can dispute. And that's not what I'm going for. Debunk. And but this, it's a little more about charisma and persuasion, but we'll see. I like him muting it. Well, better yet, I want to try muting it because I've tried the interruption fest and I don't like it much.
I'm hoping somebody goes off script. I'm hoping it gets nasty and juvenile. I hope they're shouting and name calling. I hope that he talks about Biden's children and Biden talks about Trump's. I hope he calls Trump a felon and he's like takes one to no one or some shit.
I watched I watched the person who prepared Biden for his debates in 2020. It was a woman. And she was ripping on Biden's children, so that when Trump did it, it wouldn't be the first time he hears this. And Biden put his hand on her wrist and he's like, "I think you're enjoying this a little too much," which I thought was funny.
Yeah, well, she's like, "I am. I love it."
But I don't think anything we don't already know about these two is going to be uncovered. Like that, it's just people like watching.
The pundits are all saying that it's about vibe. Like, can Trump stay hinged? I don't know if hinged is a term, unhinged is, but right. If Trump can not go unhinged, and if Biden can stay alert and capable and cognitively there, those are the things they're trying to prove. And to your point, it's really not about policy, although that's what I always like. I don't think that's what everybody likes.
What did you think about Trump asking for a drug test?
It's that to me is one of Trump many like digs and attacks. That's just like part of Trumpism. I didn't think that it was like actually a clever point that lands him voters. It's no different than him saying, Hunter's a cokehead.
It's just a way to reinforce his argument passively by being like, Hunter's hey, cool. this guy isn't with it. This guy's crazy. He's an old doddering man who's confused constantly. Like it's just him. It's just a red meat statement.
And if he's not that at all, it's because they have drugs that last for 30 minutes that he took right before the debate.
And that's a big right-wing talking point that Biden is on something when he speaks because there are 2 or 3 different versions of Biden that we get. There's Sleepy Joe, and he still exists. I've seen Sleepy Joe in the last month. He's all fucking stroked out looking.
And then people behind him are like visible.
There's Mr. Burns Joe fucking creeping around with his vampire hand.
I'm going to make a prediction here, and we'll see what comes. But I think
and then there's Alert State of the Union Joe.
I think Joe's a game day player. And that version of him you see that's dragging and confused and walking around stage like a Roomba is when like this is the 5th thing he did that day. He's exhausted and he's not the best version of himself. But he's going to come into this thing where this is the only thing he's really got going for today. As a matter of fact, all week long, this has been his primary focus. And we should see Game Day Joe. We'll see.
My lord, the drugs are precious. We must save them for the debate.
Yeah, I've seen that like they debunk the fuck out of that. They're like, Adderall does not.
How would they debunk it?
Adderall apparently does nothing for cognitive decline. There's another drug, of Ritalin, I think, that does nothing for cognitive decline. There's one like Provavil. I'm terrible with drug names.
They have a magic
that lasts for 12
pill?
hours. So the Republican talking point is that the reason you see him trail off after 60 minutes and not do as well in the final 30 in his State of the Union is that the drug only lasts.
See, this is an interesting, real quick, Kyle. This is an interesting example of how fact checking actually works. Is people go, this is a doddering old man who's being led around on stage regularly, like mumbling in a way that even the people, his handlers, can't understand. And then some conspiracy theorists will be like, he's taking ultra super secret, like Alex Jones level. He's taking secret pills that make him a genius for brief windows. And then the fact checkers, instead of like what the true accusation there is like, this guy's goosed up because he's an old man. And they go instead, fact check. There is no magic limitless style pill that makes you a genius. Debunked. And then people who are convinced that Joe Biden is just selectively cogent will latch onto that. And people who are convinced that he's on pills won't pay attention to it. And they'll be like, nah, he is. He's clearly.
I think the accusation isn't that he has a limitless pill.
I think I buy into the idea that he does worse at the end of a long day.
You think
not
he's like
if he
early,
takes
like
Adderall? So the accusation is that he's taking stimulants, not that he has something that makes his neurons fire better, not that he has something that not even that it is something that improves cognitive performance on any measurable scale, something that peps him up. He's taking pep pills like Hitler did. Yeah, that's.
I think they.
And I'm not. That's the accusation. that they're making, that they're shooting him up with. And look, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe when it's State of the Union Day, they let him have a nap in the afternoon. Maybe that's it. I could believe. Give Joe 2 cups of coffee, make him strong. I could believe that that's it. That honestly, I think that's probably it. If I'm being real, I'm not. I bet on State of the Union night, they're like, make sure the president gets his 3-hour nap this afternoon. He is an 80-year-old man. He thrives on them. Then give him 2 strong cups of coffee 30 minutes before we hit the stage. That way the jitters die down, and he'll be fucking Joe from 1995 again. I can believe that.
He's 81. Huh.
Yeah, he's
shows what you know.
Well, State of the Union,
man.
he was 80 during the State of the Union, though.
He probably, I don't know. He might be right. Yeah.
I'm just making it up. So my point
it works for me. I don't know.
But that would be my guess. He also could be, and I wouldn't discount it, that he's on a stimulant, a methamphetamine of some kind, like Adderall or Ritalin.
I just want you to hear that part. If you think Trump is above taking an upper of some sort for,
we know he takes them.
Yeah, of course he probably.
I've seen the photos.
Pictures of his uppers. He's a man.
He has taken photos with.
I like to tweak.
His drawer was open and he had way too many uppers in it. But I didn't see him actually put them in his mouth. Maybe.
What do you call an X? Like you call tweets or Twitter, on Twitter you make tweets. On X, what do you make? Posts.
Yeah.
Everyone says tweets still. Like it hasn't caught on.
I really like the conversation we just had should have been had in front of Elon. Be like, see, here's the deal, Elon. Everybody posts stuff. We post stuff everywhere. It's a very old word, post. But tweeting something, we invented that here. When someone says I tweeted it or I read a tweet, everyone knows what app it was.
Yeah.
If now forevermore someone sees a post on X and they say, "Where did you get that information? That late breaking news?" And they'll say, "I read a post online.
I read an X." No one says that.
No.
Yeah, it says it's every bit as dumb as if Kleenex were to change their name. It's like, bro, no, you nailed it. You are the thing. Kleenex is the word they use.
It's the name for the other fucking delicate wipes.
What is it called?
For tissues.
Facial tissue, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know what the branding is. It's for blowing your nose. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Kleenex is it. Or if Google were to change their name, it'd be just as big a mistake. Like Google's a verb, and you don't change that. You've got it locked in.
Yeah. That's what. It's weird that he changed that.
How long is the debate supposed to be?
90 minutes, I'm pretty sure.
Of actual participation and talking, or
no,
90-minute TV plot?
If there's not 2 commercial breaks, there's 3. It's something like that.
Why would they start it isn't it 9 Eastern, right?
Yes, it is 9.
That pretty seems sure. Like when a Blues game when they're playing the fucking Hurricanes and a game starts at 9 Eastern. I'm like, oh, the fuck, this won't be done till 11.
You think it should have? So it should go till 10:30. Would 8 to 9:30 be better? I don't know, because that's 5 West Coast.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think 9 is the time.
That's so. I guess East Coast people are used to staying up late for this stuff. It just feels late. These are 2 geriatric men. They're going to be sleepy.
Which one do you think does more late night?
I know Biden's a night owl, and I suspect Trump is.
Everybody knows Trump's is. He's always on social media late at night. I don't think that'll affect him. They both got their naps. I want nastiness. I want Trump to yell something mean, and Biden's not above being mean now too. So he could come back with some snarky shit too. There's some little clips for us to watch. That's my big hope from the debate. If I had to guess now, I'd say Biden's probably the more likely one to win. I would say right now. So I think the onus is on Trump to do well. And if you're a Trump fan, or if you're just a Biden hater, you better hope for Biden to drop the ball tonight, because that's what we need.
Both sides. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
Yeah.
Both sides said that Trump didn't really prepare for this debate. Instead, he went on podcasts and shows and did rallies and stuff like that, but he didn't do mock debates. He feels like that. And he didn't study up on issues, because he feels like that's school and he doesn't like it. But we'll see, because part of me is like, you didn't prep for the debate, you didn't do your homework, you're going to look like a fool. But the debate's not about the things that I like. I like to see some guy have a well-formed policy, or list the things that actually happened and prove why they're right about a thing.
That's not.
But I think the actual winner of a debate is the one who had the big gotcha moment. You know,
I think he's going to come off better, more commanding and trustworthy and less petty. I think if you come off looking juvenile and weak, I think if they can see that your feelings are hurt and you're lashing out, that's a terrible look. I think you got to keep calm and collected while not getting bulldozed over. And that goes for both of them.
I think the rules are different for Biden. I think if Trump, like, for example, if Trump were to attack Biden's kids, that would just be Trump, right? This is what he does. If Biden turns around and counterattacks Trump's children, you know, maybe Don's cocaine accusations or Kushner's investments or whatever he goes for, Biden will look bad. He'll lose that exchange.
Honestly, it's because all you've got is maybe, I don't know about those cocaine allegations. I think you just made them.
No, they came from unreliable internet sources, but they are what they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you. I'm teasing, but what I'm saying is, one guy's kid was convicted of the crimes surrounding his drug use and that, and just to once again show how centrist I am. The crimes he was accused of are nonsense, non-constitutional fucking crimes. Gun use by a felon or by a drug user or whatever the fuck it is. It's basically lying on your 4473 form when you purchase a gun. Are you a drug user? No. Oh, like I don't.
He had that gun for like 7 days.
Oh, okay. That I don't believe. That I believe they managed to they paid someone to craft a narrative in which that
you're just wrong, and I'll explain why. His wife took the gun, threw it away, reported to the police in which dumpster they would find it, and they did.
What?
Yeah.
All right. That makes him look worse, though.
Oh yeah. He was a drug addict, and he and his wife were not in a good place.
That's worse than just owning the gun for a year.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was so unstable. The person who knows him most threw the gun away and called the authorities. Meanwhile,
to prove how centrist I am, this all seems accurate.